Dreamcatcher is directed by Lawrence Kasdan and is based on a novel same name written by Stephen King, co-written by Lawrence Kasdan and William Goldman. And Dreamcatcher tells the story of four young friends who perform a heroic act, and they are changed forever by the uncanny powers they gain in return. Years later, the friends, who are now men, they are on a hunting trip in the Maine woods when they are overtaken by a blizzard in which something much more ominous moves. Challenged to stop an alien force, the friends must prevent the slaughter of innocent civilians by a military vigilante, then overcome a threat to the bond between them. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? The execution is okay. Dreamcatcher is an okay sci-fi horror Stephen King movie. It's not terrible, but even Lawrence Kasdan is dissatisfied with how this movie turned out. This is a pretty entertaining, decent at best film. The film has a good story, but it doesn't know where it wants to go with the story. It's like the story goes horror-esque, blood and gore crazy. And the movie's only 2 hours 13 minutes, and this movie does get a little boring. And this movie was released in March of 2003, so I would just say that there is some decent acting here from everyone. You got Morgan Freeman in here. He plays the Colonel. Tom Sizemore, Donnie Wahlberg, they're pretty good in here. You get Thomas Jane, aka Young Punisher, Damian Lewis, Jason Lee, Timothy Olyphant. All the acting here is fine. The music by James Newton Howard is pretty good. And this movie made $75.7 million, but this movie was considered a flop. Excuse me for that. This movie is considered a flop, and again, Lawrence Kasdan is very dissatisfied. But this movie is again, the movie does take a long time to get going, but when it does get going, this movie has a weird vibe to it. I don't know what it is. There's worms in here. You got extraterrestrials in here. You got this big, giant, large alien killing them. Red dust. And then you have this 3-foot long creature with rows of razor sharp teeth. I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Is this a Stephen King movie, or is this just a psychological horror movie with gore? Because there's a lot of gore in here, and it's rated R. I do like how the logos are at the beginning of the movie. You have the Warner Bros. Logo covered in snow against a snowy background, the Castle Rock logo covered in snow in all blue, the Village Roadshow logo against a background with the snow. I love that. That's pretty cool. I like when movie logos in movies, they take on different variations to fit the film. Minority Report did it with the Fox logo and DreamWorks logo taking place in the underwater scenery, and I love that. That is fantastic. But yeah, I will say that for a film, Dreamcatcher is not as bad as everyone says, but it does have problems. This movie is a little too long. This movie goes into some very weird as heck directions and doesn't know where it wants to go. But overall, I will say Dreamcatcher is a decent watch. Just give it. You can watch this one. You can rent it. It's a Redbox rental. But if you are a Stephen King fan, you're not gonna like this one bit. But I'm a Stephen King fan, and I was confused by half of it. But I can get over it because the movie did have some interesting moments. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Dreamcatcher I'm gonna give this one a middle badly, because it's kind of in that guilty pleasure vibe for me, because this is somewhat of a guilty pleasure. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Dreamcatcher down below. Have you seen it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? And I will see you guys for more Stephen King stuff. And if you like this, you can come here and we can all have a good time.